Katt Williams just proved he was never against the industry. In 2024, he became the face of the resistance, but his appearance at the viral Kevin Hart roast confirms it was an act all along. It wasn't about the jokes. What Katt said on that stage contradicts everything he claimed he stood for. By the end of this video, you will question everything you thought you knew about Katt Williams. Ever since the Shannon Sharpe interview, Katt Williams has been looked as a hero of sorts. The man who stood up against the industry and refused to compromise. One thing he made clear during his interview was that Kevin Hart didn't follow the same principles. Katt pointed out his questionable relationships and his industry antics that painted him as a snake. He made it clear that he refuses to be anything like Kevin Hart. So when he showed up to his roast, cracking jokes about doing it only for the money, the world was completely caught off guard. Didn't Katt Williams specifically call Kevin a sellout? It makes no sense that he would show up and participate in this event. Doesn't this contradict everything he claimed? The reality is Katt Williams played everyone, and this just confirmed it. The fact that he showed up to this roast was a massive red flag. But more importantly, you have to pay attention to the things he actually said during it. It confirms that his resistance persona was all in act since the very beginning. The first thing that stuck out to me was his justification for why he did this event. He responded by saying it was strictly for the money. Then he said he was the only one at the event with a soul.
Why is the cat man doing this? For the money, bitch.
This right here was the first fatal mistake he made. He must think we're all completely stupid. By him admitting that he's participating in this roast simply for money is essentially an admission of selling out. If Katt doesn't respect what Kevin stands for and what he represents, wouldn't taking money to participate in a Kevin Hart event, even if it's to roast him, be against what you stand for? You are literally selling out by agreeing to participate in this roast. We all know you can't serve two masters. No matter how much you claim to be one of the people who still have a soul in the industry, admitting to only doing this for the money proves you yourself sold out. Honestly, how do you want us to believe you're against the industry while you're getting paid to be at an industry event? You really think we're that slow? Then we have to talk about the part of his set where he called out the industry inner circles. He literally made jokes insinuating the event was orchestrated by Hollywood big shots. The exact same corporate power structures he pretended to call out during the Shannon Sharpe interview. He is basically saying they're all a part of this exclusive inner circle, yet he showed up to that exact same crowd. How can you call out the people in the room as industry pawns when you're sitting right there in the room with them? Katt, we all know they invited you because you're obviously down with the program. The next thing he said that was highly questionable was his ongoing narrative about Kevin Hart being an industry creation. He initially pushed this during his Shannon Sharpe interview. He claimed that the reason Kevin got so massive was that he was heavily manufactured and corporate media was using him to push a brand. He even claimed that Kevin proved he was willing to sell out his image with certain outfits he wore during his sketches. While I agree that Kevin is heavily managed by Hollywood PR machines, I also think Katt is the same way. Just like Kevin, Katt also came out of nowhere. He was a face that randomly started getting shoved in our faces in the 2000s. The reality is, Katt was a part of the same system. While Katt might have had some issues with the industry at the beginning, he is always allowed to return. Now think about what that tells us. We know when they boot someone from the industry, they never let them back in. But Katt always finds his way back into the industry. Ask yourself why. Because Katt isn't really against them. They just want you to think he is. Think about it. The only reason people are talking about Katt Williams today is because he supposedly exposed everything during the Shannon Sharpe interview. In fact, he called out a few people who were sitting at the roast alongside of him. But after exposing all of Hollywood and calling out everyone by name, all he has received is praise. GQ called him the man of the year, he got a bunch of new Netflix specials, and now he's showing up to the roast of Kevin Hart, the main person he painted as a villain during the interview that gave new life to his career. That tells you everything you need to know. They wanted him to say all of that. That's why he was rewarded with so much success afterward. Someone who says the things people want to hear to earn their trust. This way, they can use him to guide some of those who believe him astray. This is the only explanation for all the success the industry gifted him after he chose to expose it. Another massive contradiction was when he claimed Kevin was a Netflix puppet. He claimed that Netflix had their hands in Kevin. I honestly couldn't believe he would even dare be this hypocritical. How could he even begin to call out Kevin's connection to Netflix when he himself is signing deal after deal with them? So it's okay for him to do countless specials, but Kevin can't? Think about what he is saying. He's implying that Kevin's constant work with Netflix is a sign that he is a puppet. But doesn't that make him the exact same thing? And it keeps getting worse. After this, he starts talking about Kevin attending the infamous Puffy parties and jokes Kevin remains quiet every time he's asked about it. Now, I agree with Katt that Kevin is hiding something, but so is Katt. You really think that Katt Williams is gonna tell us everything he knows about the industry? He's only telling us what they allow him to say, the things others can easily deny and most would just brush off. With all the years Katt spent in Hollywood, you really think he didn't see anything, or worse, do things he wouldn't want out in public? Can't you see the same things he exposed about Kevin apply to him too? He repeatedly called out Kevin for selling out his own people and playing bad stereotypical roles. But it's literally the same thing Katt did himself. Think about what Katt is most famous for, embodying the pimp persona. He branded himself with this from the beginning of his career. His first big comedy special was called The Pimp Chronicles. His biggest role was playing a similar character in Friday. He did the exact same thing as Kevin. Now, the most telling part came when Kevin and Katt supposedly squashed their beef. Kevin asked if they could make up, and then they shook hands. While this seemed like a genuine moment, it was actually the exact moment that confirmed all my speculations. Pay attention to the handshake Katt gave Kevin. This is not a regular handshake. Look at the specific branding and imagery they had on the screen behind everybody. Do you think that was just a random coincidence? It's clear that even Katt is a part of it too. As you can see in this tour photo taken right around the time of the Shannon Sharpe interview, he is showing these exact same signs. It's very hard for me to believe that Katt is the only man allowed to expose the system while benefiting from it at the same time. Are you really buying that? Think about the timing of all of this. In the real world, when you truly expose a powerful organization, they don't give you a microphone and a stage. They don't give you Man of the Year awards. And they definitely don't hand you multi-special deals with the same company you just called a puppet master. In fact, they do the exact opposite. They erase you. But with Katt Williams, the system did the reverse. They amplified him. They made him bigger. The Shannon Sharpe interview wasn't a revolt. It was a launch pad. It provided the industry with the perfect antagonist. You think they don't know that people are waking up? They know the people are tired of the industry antics and the obvious plans. So, they gave you a hero. They gave you someone who says the things you're thinking so that you feel represented. But the moment Katt stepped onto that roast stage, the truth of the matter was finally revealed. He told you himself. He did it for the money. He told you he has a soul while standing in the middle of the very club he claims to despise. He is there to lead the resistance while remaining firmly on the industry's payroll. If you're waiting for Katt Williams to be the one to take down the system, you're gonna be waiting forever. He isn't the one fighting the system. He is the one the system uses to keep you distracted. We have to remember that many will be used to deceive. It's a trick as old as time. Katt managed to trick so many because he seemed so believable, but we should have always questioned them from the get-go. When does anyone telling the truth ever get that many views so quickly? When do they invite someone that the industry supposedly blocked onto a massive industry platform? If Katt was doing something the system didn't like, that episode would have never been published. We only saw it because they wanted us to. A few weeks back, I made a video on Katt Williams and Jim Carrey where I pointed out this very hypocrisy. Now, Katt just confirmed everything I said in that video. If you want to know why these celebrities never actually went against the system, watch that video right now. For those who want to further support the channel, check out my Patreon. For just $3, you get access to over 60 exclusive videos not available anywhere else. These videos are different because I don't have to worry about what I can and cannot say. If you like what I do and want to join the movement, join me on Patreon. The link is in the description. Another way to show your support is by liking and, more importantly, hyping this video. Your hype gets this video seen by as many people as possible. Also, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you get updated on every single upload. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.